Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. There are always new listeners, so do feel free to reach out, some feedback, let me know where you're up to on the podcast. If you're on the older episodes, I'm like, they are from so long ago. All the growth, this is what I'm going to talk about today, is the last two episodes, and you'll see that when you actually go through it, the way I talk, everything. My life's changed, everything's changed so much, and I've gone deeper and deeper into manifesting and, the growth and everything that I'm doing, I'm learning. And that's what I want to talk about today, like looking at transformation and how we can change. And change can be uncomfortable, but so we staying stuck. And there's so much power behind reinventing yourself, because we are allowed to change. Because we can go from survival mode to self-trust. And sometimes it is having your transformation journey, because it could take a while. People change all the time. We just go through elements of our life that we just don't know ourselves anymore. We can miss old times of our life. I get so nostalgic because I look at like old music, and I've been sharing a lot on my socials lately, and it's making me deeply sad, because I'm like, there's no nightclubs like there used to be. There's no scenes, and I'm looking at like old rappers and singers and, like people back in the day, the young lads. I mean, they're probably all in our 40s, 50s now. But we're never going to get that again, because music today is not the same. But that person isn't the same, because we're not going to be going out drinking and partying and meeting people. A lot of us are probably settled down with children. A lot of things happen all the time. But it's up to you to take yourself on that journey. And people say to me all the time, like, you've changed. And sometimes I used to look at it as a negative. But of course I'm going to change. I'm nearly 44, and it really dawned on me the other night. And I'm thinking, I'm coming up to middle age. Like, I just feel 20 again. And if you don't change, then you've got to ask yourself why. Because you come to a period of your life where if you're stuck in the same... I see so many people that I grew up with that are still out on the sesh, still partying, still talking the same narrative online. Well, you've not really changed since, like, I've not seen you back in the day. But I don't think they realise that they're stuck in that. And I guarantee they have talks at the weekend with the friends and work colleagues saying, I want to do this, because I see that all the time. But sometimes we can be stuck because we are surrounded by people that keep us stuck. But what I've done, I've stepped out of that. And I'm stepping into people that push me and want me to do well. And I have changed, because I am a life coach. And sometimes people probably forget that, back in the day when I've done all my qualifications and I did my counselling and I've just developed and evolved, and I've become an author, and that positions yourself somewhat. And then the podcasting, and I did my public speaking, and everything's just like, it's like you think of Play-Doh. And then you've got like, you get different colours when you play with your children. You've got like red, yellow, and then you can get like piles of like, the different colours. And then you think, oh, what do I do? Well, sometimes we don't want to. This is like, just like me. I try to describe it as you're looking at all these colours on the table, and you always have like a big blob of yellow. And then you have like the reds, the blues and the greens, and we don't want to mix them. But sometimes that's a good compound of bringing all those things together, and for that change and all over the years, the elements of you But sometimes we're stuck and we don't want to bring those together because we want to keep things separate. But we can't fight and resist against change, because if we want like more money and a better house, or even relationships, the relationships I would have chose back in my 20s will not be the relation. Even if I wasn't with my husband, I would definitely not make relationship choices like I did then. But that's because I didn't know any better. So that is experience. We all have regrets, and we all, we all can tell a story, can't we, of a relationship. They can be like serious relationships, they can be traumatic relationships. But that defines us now to our next relationship and what we wouldn't stand. And I probably am a bit more vocal about what I wouldn't put up with now and what I wouldn't stand for. Only because I'm getting that respect off somebody. I've never had a relationship that I've had now. And I'd say the last 5 years since lockdown has gone better. And I feel like because my husband's 10 years older than me, I think because I've changed and I'm more mature, I'm very scatty, but I'm not as much now. And like my dad calls me like bang crash Annie, and my husband's like, you bang that back door and you crash things down and you're like a furry elephant up and down the stairs. And he's quite calm. We are complete opposites, but we work because we have the same values and trust. And I said to him the other night, I said, you know what, I won't say you've not changed a lot, but I've done so many different things, as in like with my business and doing my book. And I said, but you've like been at the same job for over 20 years. But what he's changed for him is like he's done things around the house, and I feel like he's just been here to support me. And I feel a bit sorry for him sometimes because he doesn't have a lot here. And I probably take that for granted a little bit. Like his family are in Devon and his friends are in Birmingham, and they don't really, like, people don't come to visit us really. So we've already got a couple of friends that'll pop down, or it's easy for us to like go up there because we can see everybody at once. But then you've got to like see everybody then. So we need to make that conscious effort to go. But it's like booking hotels and doing all that. But I always let him do what he wants to do. But do you know what? He doesn't like to do a lot. All he's happy with is got his nice TVs and he's got his Xbox when he gets the time. But he's quite happy just being chill and being a dad. And yeah, I think he even said the other night, I feel like we've gotten closer. And I feel like that's because I've changed, and he said that he just can't believe that he built the salon for me, and he did it all. He did like help with my dad, and I did the help as well. And he said like it's giving you that freedom and that time to be flexible, and he knows that I'm not rushing around. And he said your hours are better. We have time for family, and I used to make a lot of decisions on my own. Like, so for instance, we've ordered like all the new kitchen, like toaster, kettle, all that. And I've changed to like a sage green. But I would just go, I say, oh, what about this? And he's like, yeah. But because he was that busy working, I just like bought it. And then he said, I really like that anyway. And I'm like, yeah. But I said, do you know what? He said, let's sit down, let's go on next, let's have a look. And we ordered some things and like down to the nitty gritties. I'm like, no, I want us to both, because you've made the house beautiful, and he's done all the acoustic paneling everywhere, and he's like, he does everything. He did all the drive last week and pointing outside, and took the trampoline down the other day. He's always trying to improve. We live in a bungalow, but we've converted it, and it's like, yes, we could get a bigger and bigger house, but then my mum and my dad live around the corner, and we've got a family, my neighbours are amazing, and it's my work, my clients are around, and I've got everything I need. I've got like a retail park, I've got the motorways there, I've got McDonald's for my son's school's 5 minutes away. It's just, everything's there. So I think it is about building on the foundations of what we've got sometimes, because sometimes we do forget that, don't we? Because we don't look at the gratitude side. And honestly, my husband says all the time, he sits in the living room, he's like, I just love this living room. I'm so grateful. I'm like, you really are like getting overexcited about this living room. He's like, I just love the sofa. He did the media wall, and he did the floating shelves, and he's like, I've got that like floating shelves, got some nice candles, and then the other side I've got a few candles, like when you make it with your diffusers. But I've let him have that corner. He's got like an Xbox, but that corner I've let him put some like Only Fools and Horses, like little model figures on there, and a McLaren car. But it's not tacky, it's tasteful. But then, you know what, I was going to be like, no, it don't go, like, I need it all like modern and, like all like OCD and clean and tidy. Everything's got to stand nice. But I thought, you know what, it doesn't have anything here. If I just make it about me and what I want, then, and I'm digressing a bit, but what I'm trying to say is like, I'm trying to let him be him and be happy, because he sits there and I can see him looking at things and he's just happy, and he sits on that side of the sofa, and he's made us little trays that we can move to our side, put our drinks on, and then we have our tea at night in our little trays. And I don't know, we like to sit in the front room because we just like watching our TV. But I just feel like all the growth over the last couple of years, and that's why I think we enjoy our time together more and more. And it's hard to get time sometimes together because we do try and go out in the week, and it's hard to go out as a family because my husband works all weekend, and in the week, it's like you've got school things going on, but I want him to grow as well. And like my husband's like, I'm just so chilled, I'm just happy. He wants to retire in a couple of years, and he does things around the house. And so I think sometimes it's just like looking at the bigger picture, and then like maybe like breaking it down and think, right, what do I need to, what elements of my life do I need to focus on to achieve the growth that I need for that time? Because growth does sound exciting until it starts actually happening, and change can feel so uncomfortable and emotional, and it can feel lonely sometimes, but it is where the magic happens. We have transformations of our life, like 20, 30, 40, you can have like a midlife crisis. But sometimes the version of you that's emerging needs to let go of what's always been. And that's been hard for me, because then we can mourn our old person. We can mourn our old body. We can mourn our old hair and our family that we're missing, that we love. But we need to, if we need that transformation, it doesn't just, like I've transformed my body, but I need to transform my mind. It has to come together. And people change, like when you lose weight, they might feel like, oh, look at her now, who does she think she is? But that me losing weight has given me confidence so much. Like it's really propelled me this year. I've actually like going to events and wearing clothes, and there was always an element of like parts of me that I've manifested that it was just my weight that was just pulling me back. So I think once we start to identify the elements that are pulling us back, and then we can start looking at how we're going to transform them. I'm not going to say that it's going to like happen overnight, but it's just talking to our friends, identifying, getting involved in new things. I'm feeling like I'm a bit more spiritual and a little bit more soft in my age, and I get quite emotional, and I look at things that I didn't appreciate before, and I'm giving myself a little bit more time to absorb and take things in. I think we need to grow because our minds are so capable. Like, I wouldn't have spoke like this years ago, but because I positioned myself and I taught more as a coach and a mentor, and I fell into a lot more business coaching. But I have my own business, so why wouldn't I be? Like, of course I'm going to be the expert. I've run my own business for over 20 years. It's just ran itself. I'm good with customers and clients, and I give people what I want from a service. And I like to teach the way that I like to be taught. And yeah, I'm probably not going to be for everybody. And I don't really not get on with people. I feel like the people that I probably won't get on with would be the people that my personality would like trigger, because they might think she's confident but I don't feel like I'm a show-off confident person. I feel like it's knowing your strengths. My friend Helen came, and she's a strengths coach, and I remember her telling me something about when she was actually on the podcast, Helen. When we are younger, we're kind of told that, oh, you're good at this and you should do that. And we kind of take a path of, say, like your dad's got a business and you end up like working with your dad. But is that your strength? No. Sometimes it's not. But I always knew that what everything I'm doing is by design, because my hair and beauty, I've always loved it. I've always wanted to do it. But because I'm a manifesting generator, I've always wanted to do other things, and I didn't know what they were going to be, and that's why I jumped into fitness and health, and like I just felt like I just wanted to do more. And then I started writing my book, and then lockdown happened, and then I'm like, you know what, I want to be a podcaster, but I'm like, I'm not professional. I'm like, what is professional? Because you listen to podcasts, they're done in big studios, and I'm like, you know what, they're not my audience of listeners. People are going to listen to my podcast that are going to be busy mums that are probably going to want to do a podcast and do a book themselves, and then I'm going to help them in the way that I'm going to teach them an easy way, a way that's going to save them money and time. I'm not going to teach you something that's more difficult for you. So at least when you work with me, you're going to know, you know it's going to be easy. I'm going to give you lots of voice notes and information. I'm going to take you on your journey of transformation, but it's not just going to stop in one place. There could be like 5 points of your transformation journey, and that could start with your emotional, then we can go on to relationships. And actually, it's funny, like when I work with people, I do actually go into a lot of relationships because I feel like people look at me and think, right, well, you seem to be all right with what you're doing, like, and because if our relationship's not going well in our personal relationship, especially if as in like partners, it really holds us back in our business. So sometimes I will actually bring that in. I'm not a relationships coach, but I've got a lot of health and wellness qualifications, and I've worked with a lot of women. So of course I've got the experience, and I'm married, and I've got a child, and I've got the special education needs element now, and I'm a people's person. So of course people, you kind of learn, and I always reiterate to people, like you said, about not expecting breadcrumbs, and people might get fed up of me saying it, but I'm passionate because I want people to know their worth in the workplace, in the relationships, in life, walking into a room. Don't like people looking down to you. Don't have people making you feel inadequate, because that's how I transform. Like when we go networking and like when we go to events, it is about, sometimes your old life no longer fits. And sometimes we feel like, oh, what if them friends don't like me anymore because I'm not that person? And that is going to happen. And that's just tough, isn't it? Like we can't help that. And that has probably happened to me quite a lot, because it's funny because I've had people that I've grew up with and people that I've done since I've done my book, and they've gone missing and they've blocked me online. I'm like, what? Like, I'm thinking, have I done anything wrong? Have I said anything? But I don't think it is. And I'm like asking ChatGPT, and like, you're just triggering people, like, don't worry about it. But I'm like, I've not done nothing wrong. And I'm like, I'm a nice person. Why would somebody do that? Because it is just a sign that you're outgrowing your old life. Because people don't like to go past you. But you're not in my alignment if you're one of those persons. Like, I want somebody to grow with me and support. I've got so many amazing women that are in my network at the minute that I seek different advice from. I do me networking with the amazing Kimmy, my brand lady, and then we're doing the collaboration with Alice. I got my friend Helen, that she's the author, and she works in early children's like development, and like all these different amazing friends. And my friend Lindsay from school, and my friend Nicola, that I'm always like on the phone to, and I met through networking. And then we go to sound baths. I get chunks of like value, and I've got in touch with an old friend Sarah, and we're voice noting all the time, and we are re-establishing that friendship. I've got time for everybody. I don't always have time to meet people all the time, but I'm always there for people if they need to talk to. New mummy friends that I'm making all the time that I've been talking to. I think it's nice that you establish. Sometimes we don't realise. One of the mums at school, Romaine, our sons are in class together, and we've been like texting a bit, and it's funny how we've got, like, I knew her dad, and we've got a lot of like things in common, and she's about 10 years younger than me, but I feel like we're the same age, and it's surprising like how much we are alike. So unless you start getting to know people and establish those friendships, and you don't really know people, because we can judge people, can't we? And like, oh, she's not my type of person, she's quiet, she's loud, she's this, she's that, or I don't think they like me. We can like make those assumptions straight away, but I like to take people on a ride of transformation. Like, people want to be in my world, and they're like, right, like, I want to do what you're doing. Can you help me do a book? Can you help me do a podcast? Like, absolutely, like, just, yeah, but this is how I work. These are my learning styles. This is how I teach. So as long as you're on board with that, then that's good. So it's all right to feel uncomfortable. And you can have those in-between versions of yourself. They're going to crop up. You're going to have a discovery of you. There's going to be tears. We can miss the old us, but we can look forward to the new us, so that we can look forward to the future. And I'm always looking forward to change all the time. And I'm coming to that age where I've still got a child who's older, but younger-minded. So I haven't got that empty arm syndrome. I've still got that young child that needs that support and love, and I've been having talk therapy. I've just finished my 6th session. So I'll probably maybe have some more. But even though like I do this for like a job, and I do like talk therapy, it's been nice to speak to somebody, a lovely, lovely lady, and we get on so well, and and I'm going to miss her because we was like, we got on and it's just nice just to chat and it wasn't too deep and it's good for me because I coach people as well, but I don't get coaching. And the thing is with counsellors, you would get coaching. But with this, with what I do, is everything you bottle up and everything. And I'm still working, but I've also been grieving. I've been coming to terms with my son with his diagnosis, and Tegan's been the amazing journalist that has did the story for Harrison in Blog Preston. She came to my house. She's doing like a documentary with him, and she went and had an interview with with what I said on the last podcast, and with Professor Banker, and everything for me is a transformation. Like, I didn't know my son was going to have this diagnosis, but you know what's happened? He's thrown me into the world of MSL2. I'm connecting with people. I'm doing articles. I went on That's TV Lancashire. I'm like, the universe is saying, take this further, help other people. And I've got on a register now, and I'm going to do some volunteer work. And I feel like it's meant to be. I can't not use my platform to help other people and support people and help people like Lauren and her husband and her family, because that I could not do that. So this is a new journey for me, all this advocacy work. So you probably hear me talking more about this, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I love helping families, and if we had a lifetime of doing different jobs, I would have brought so many different elements into my life of jobs. But we haven't got enough time to keep retraining, have we, and keep doing more qualifications. So I feel like I've established a really good place. I love my home beauty, but I also love doing all this. I'm constantly non-stop doing different things, and sometimes I need to slow down. But anyway, where are you now on your transformation journey? Do you need support? Are you stuck? You might be starting something new. You might just need a little bit more support. Send me a message. We can start it. I do one-to-ones. We can do an hour on Zoom, and we can go through everything. And it's so powerful because you come off and you are buzzing. I've actually done a few face-to-face because I've had clients that I've booked on when they've had like a treatment with me. And you get homework. You take it away. And I want that homework back. Because once you start putting pen to paper, that's when your journey starts. Whether that's just health, we could cover fitness, we can cover business, we can just cover the law of attraction, manifesting at its finest, gratitude, visualization. We could just go through all the goal setting, habit stacking. That's what it's all about. You're not going to get change if you're not going to bring manifesting and all the laws of attraction, all the elements into it. You don't have to throw it all in at once, but it starts with the gratitude and be more observant every day. Like, what am I thankful for? Once you see that and you start to acknowledge that, your vibrations just shift straight away and little things start happening. And if you've not read my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, you can start there. So anyway, I'm going to go now. So anyway, have a great day, whatever you're doing. And don't forget to reach out. Don't forget to share the podcast, download the podcast, and if you can, give me a review. That would be amazing. On my website, you can send me a voice note if you want to, or you can reach out to me on my socials. But other than that, happy manifesting, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together, it's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.